All right, what is going on, guys? This Friday is Dirty Boxing Championship 3, and this is going to be my full card. I will, like, for 1 second at least, talk about every fight. Most of them I don't care about. There's a few fighters on here I enjoy watching. I wanted to cover it. There's no UFC this weekend. This is something I'm thinking about doing, is covering some other stuff as well. I do watch other things besides just the UFC. Occasionally I watch boxing, not very often. I have watched all the Dirty Boxing events and have watched the UFC BJJ. So we're going to go over this. This is not 100% updated and correct. I don't believe this is the graphic they have on their website. Obviously, they're a small company. We're going to go over to Tapology to do it, but Tapology does not have the fights in order from, like, Battle versus Fortius, however the hell you say his name, is the featured fight. Why is this the co-main event? I don't know. So we're going to go over to Tapology. We're going to start at the bottom. We're going to way up. I'm going to be honest. Some of these people I have no clue who the hell they are. So if I don't know who the hell they are, I'm just going to guess and move on. Starting off, first fight of the night, maybe, per Tapology. First fight on Tapology, we have Chase Sherman versus Levi DaCosta. If you don't know who Chase Sherman is, he was in the UFC. Essentially, got his ass beat. I don't even remember if he got a win in the UFC. He might have a win in the UFC. He almost has, let's see, one. He has 2 wins in the UFC. So, not too much to talk about there. His opponent, I have no clue who he is, if I'm being honest. But it doesn't take... It doesn't take much to beat Chase Sherman. Now, I have seen him, I believe it was in a Jorge Masvidal's bare knuckle MMA. Chase Sherman can take a beating. It can keep moving forward. I know that from what we've seen from him. The other guy, never heard of him, don't know who he is. At least Sherman made it to the UFC. So I'm going to go Chase Sherman to get it done via decision. Who knows? Moving on. We have Bryan. This is what I actually cared to watch. Bryan Battle going over to Dirty Boxing after he was cut from the UFC. We got Bryan Battle versus Derek DeFurtis. DeFurtis? If we look at Derek's record overall, it's not good. Essentially what they did is they brought Bryan Battle over from the UFC after he got cut. And they gave him anybody that would accept the fight on this short of notice. Derek is bad. Derek is not good. Or Furitas, however you say his name. They want to build Bryan Battle up because he had a potential in the UFC to be a star. You know, he had that big post-fight speech after the France win. He has somewhat controversy after missing weight twice in a row. And I would say he had potential. There was potential there if he continued to win. He was decent on the mic. So they wanted to get him in Dirty Boxing. They want to get him an opponent he can beat on short notice. So I'm going Bryan Battle, first round KO over Derek DeFurtis. Brutal KO as well. And he's probably going to talk some trash on the mic. I don't know. I know heavyweight, this is the heavyweight main event is for the belt. I don't know if they have a middleweight champion. If they don't, they should probably take, like, if Bryan Battle wins and gets a vicious KO and, like, another middleweight that someone knows, and they should probably do them for the Dirty Boxing Championship. Moving up the card, Phil Hawes, former UFC fighter. There's a lot of former UFC fighters that have fought in Dirty Boxing and a lot of former UFC fighters that are on this card. We have Sergey Martyanov versus Phil Hawes. Listen, Phil Hawes, like, even in the UFC, like, he was decent, he was good, he was technical. I think he was a very well-rounded fighter. Obviously, it doesn't matter in this fighting or rule set. He just doesn't have a chin. He gets clipped on the chin, he gets put out. I don't remember how many KOs this guy has. I know he has lost to Share a Bullet, if I remember correctly. This is the guy. Yep. He has lost. That's his last loss in combat sports, is to Share a Bullet. Lots of KOs. 12 KOs. 12 of his wins coming by KO. As much as I think Phil Hawes is technically probably better than Sergey, and he's good. I think he's good. He just has no chin. So I'm going to go Sergey Martyanov to get it done via KO over Phil Hawes. Probably see another brutal Phil Hawes knockout loss. Yeah, I have no clue who these two people are. Let's go Michael. Moving up. Again, I don't know these two people either. Let's do this. Let's open them up. Let's check them out together and see who we think is going to win. Relatively inexperienced. Lots of Muay Thai fights versus Travis St. John versus Janesy Silva. Silva looking like he's got more experience. I don't know who he is. I've never heard of him. Lost in LFA. Lost in the Contender Series. And this guy, I think he only fights... Looks like he only fights in Muay Thai. Let's go Silva. I'm going to go Silva to get it done via decision. More experience as far as overall in fighting. I know he does. Looks like he does more MMA, so he mixes in other stuff as well. Where Travis St. John seems to be doing Muay Thai, so he's just doing stand-up. But Muay Thai allows a lot of kicks as well, which they cannot obviously do in dirty boxing. But I think Silva probably is going to be more well-rounded. I don't know that for a fact. Or more well-versed in the striking hands department. Moving up the card. We have Cat Nelson versus Fiera. Something like that. 1 and 2. Oh, that's terrible. That's awful. 19 and 11. You got to go this lady. She's old. She's almost 40. Holy crap. This lady's 30. This one's 39. She in the UFC ever? I've never heard of her. She was. I don't know who this lady is. Any wins? Nope. Lost to Jessica Joanna Wood back in 2018. Hey, she's got a win over Carolina Kowalkiewicz. Oh, no, she has a loss. Never mind. Oops. I thought that was a win. I was like, hey, that's a decent win, actually. I'm going to go with the old lady to get it done. Yeah. This one I'm actually excited to watch. We have Alex Caceres versus Sean West. Alex Caceres kind of on a losing skid right now. Oopsie daisies. Kind of on a losing skid right now. If we look at his recent resume, last fight was in dirty boxing as well. Against I don't remember. I don't think this guy's been in the UFC before. But Said Yokub Kakramanov. And very competitive fight, very close fight. But Kakramanov did win the fight. I think it was 2 rounds to 1, if I remember correctly. Before that, in the UFC, lost to Sean Woodson. Before that, in the UFC, lost to Giga Chikadze. Before the win over Daniel Pineda. And he was on a 2-fight win streak. Nope. Never mind. That's grappling. Never mind. Yeah, before he was on a 2-fight win streak. Kind of trading wins and losses. A little bit of a streak right there. But he's kind of older, but so is his opponent, Sean West. And Sean West, I think he fought in did he fight in the bare knuckle Masvidal's? No, I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm going Alex Caceres in this one. I think Caceres is going to be a better striker. I know he's a little bit older than Sean West, but I think the level of opposition Caceres has fought, like even as the last opponent he fought, I think that guy was a very good opponent. Maybe he was in the UFC at one point and got cut. I don't remember. But I think he's a very good opponent. Caceres fights better opposition than Sean West has. He's fought at a higher level than Sean West has. So I think Alex Caceres is going to get it done. Can he get the finish? He's got decent power, not like nothing, one-punch KO power. Usually when he's getting his KOs, he's getting them with his kicks. I'm going to go Alex Caceres to get it done via decision. I'm going to skip this one. We got Hector Lombard versus James Cannon. What is Hector Lombard doing at almost 48 years old fighting? He's fighting James Cannon. who, if I remember correctly, when I was looking at him earlier, has a negative record, a losing record. Yeah, he's 9-10. He's on he won his last fight. It was an MMA fight. Before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses in a row. Listen, if Hector Lombard has like any fight left in him, he should be able to beat James Cannon. Let's see what his last. I don't even know what his last thing was. He fought 2 years ago at Jorge Masvidal's MMA promotion, bare knuckle MMA promotion. Before that, a draw in boxing. Before that, lost to Thiago Silva and Eagle FC. Oh man! Oh, look at that! Look at that! Ew. CB Dollaway, you don't see that name very often. Like, he's almost 50 years old. This guy's 30, but he's bad. I'm going Hector Lombard to get it done via decision. He's going to show that young whippersnapper what's going on. I feel like I've seen this guy fight before, this Ricky. I feel like I've seen him fight before. Let's see. Let's see where he's fought before. We got Tyson Nam versus Ricky Mendejas. Tyson Nam, 41. Ricky Mendejas, was he like 33? I feel like I've seen this guy fight before. What have I seen him fight in? Is he in the Contender Series? Bellator? I don't know. He just looks familiar. I don't know why I've never seen him before. This guy was in the UFC. I don't remember him. I was watching during this time. Went over Ode Osborne, lost to Matt Schnell, lost to Kai Car-France, lost to Sergio Pettis. I feel like I've probably seen this guy fight before. I just don't remember who he was. He's old. That's probably why. I go with the old guy. Lost to Ray Borg at Eagle FC. I remember watching that fight. Oh man, this is tough. I don't know who to pick because I don't really know. I remember that's probably where I remember this guy from because I watched that Ray Borg fight on Eagle FC. I watched all the events Eagle FC. I think there was all the U.S. events I watched. Losing to Ray Borg though. I'm gonna go Tyson Nam to get it done via decision. I'm gonna go Ricky. Ricky Mendejas has to get it done via decision. He's younger, probably has speed advantage over Tyson Nam, but we'll see how it goes. Not going over the next fight. We got Jessica Rose Clark, former UFC fighter, versus Claudia Zamora. Have I seen Claudia Zamora fight before? I don't think so. I know Jessica Rose Clark. If I remember correctly, I think everything she's done after post UFC, because she's fighting in the UFC, she's losing a grappler. She's getting out grappled. That's how she's losing. And then she's transitioned to like boxing, kickboxing. She's won everything so far. So she's won 2 Muay Thai fights, and then she did 1 dirty boxing. She's doing another one. I'm gonna go Jessica Rose Clark to get it done very dominantly. Does she get the finish? Let's see. I know I was just on her thing, but I want to look real quick. She's 5-5. She's never been knocked out. I'm going to go Jessica Rose Clark to get it done via decision. I know she's 37 years old. I don't think she's that old. She's got decent power. And then they fight in a bantamweight. Maybe. It doesn't really say. Does it say on there? But yeah, bantamweight. They're fighting a bantamweight. She's got decent power. I could see her getting the TKO. I'm going to go Jessica Rose Clark to get it done via decision. Moving up, the fight everybody's excited for. We got Mike Breeden versus Landon Quinones. Sorry I'm totally butchering all these names. I gotta pick Mike Breeden. He's just gonna bark at him, walk him down, doesn't give a fuck, march forward, throw bombs. I'm going Mike Breeden to get it done via KO over Landon Quinones. Listen, Quinones, youth advantage. Breeden, height advantage. They both have the same reach, okay? I cannot get over. And I think Breeden won his last fight in dirty boxing. I'm pretty sure by finish as well. I'm never going to forget He's getting the shit beat out of him by Anshul Jubilee. Just losing to Jubilee, which is embarrassing. Comes back in the third round, barking at him like a dog, walking him down, makes Anshul Jubilee quit, and finishes him. So I'm going Mike Breeden to get this done. Hopefully he gets a bonus if they do bonuses. I can't remember if they do. Mike Breeden KO. Moving up, the main event. We're going to switch back to here. I think it's correct. Yeah, it was supposed to originally be against that guy, and then I think he pulled out. Let's see, Tapology usually has their stuff updated at the bottom. Yeah, Perez withdrew for whatever reason. But we have Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus, what's this guy's name? Raheem Cleveland. I'm pretty sure this guy's kind of, like, he's got a winning record. Last win, Maurice Green. Really? That doesn't mean anything at all. Before that, like, he doesn't have any decent wins in any organization at all. Like, never made it to the UFC. You know, when he's in the PFL, losing. Has a win over Houston Alexander. 2 wins, actually. What the fuck does that mean? Nothing. But you know who I'm picking. Because I'm going Jairzinho Rozenstruik to get it done. Second round KO over Cleveland. I think Rozenstruik's going to kind of figure out his timing in the first round. After the first round, come back out in the second round. And then he's going to find the chin of Cleveland, put him out cold for a second round KO win for Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Cannot believe the UFC cut Rozenstruik off for 1 loss. 1 loss. The UFC's been cutting a lot of heavyweights recently. Really hope Jairzinho can go out here, get the win. I don't know if they can pay him enough, but I would love to see the rematch. If Jairzinho Rozenstruik can get a win and then Dirty Boxing can pay enough for Francis Ngannou, I would love to see Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Francis Ngannou rematch in Dirty Boxing. Or potentially we could see, you know, if Rozenstruik gets a win here, he'd be on a 2-fight win streak, you know, outside the UFC. Again, it's not MMA, but then potentially the PFL and him and Francis Ngannou, they could fight in the PFL. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, Francis Ngannou for the heavyweight title. That would also be cool. Cool as well. But let me know, what do you guys think in the comment section down below. You guys can be watching Dirty Boxing. It's free on YouTube Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the early prelims. Really, only fights I care to watch are the Caceres fight, the Breeden fight, the Bryan battle fight, and the main event, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think Jairzinho Rozenstruik is going to win? If so, how is he going to win? Same with Bryan battle. Let me know down below. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you guys haven't subscribed already. Thanks for bearing with me in this video. First of its kind, at least for me doing. And do you want to see these in the future? If not, I'm going to do them anyway, regardless. Goodbye.